You're offered the ability to absorb the knowledge of any book you touch instantly, but the way it works is that time freezes and won't unfreeze until you finish reading the book cover to cover. Do you accept this power/curse? Why or why not? So I can move freely when time is frozen? Or am I stuck there reading? 'Cause if it's the former, what's the problem? If the latter, I can learn a lot of skills easily. Or freeze time by touching Clifford and having a nap. I can't see a downside either way. Let's say you only speak/read English. You touch an ancient Chinese manuscript that even modern literates can't read. How do you learn the language? Does it count if you just look at all the characters? You could die before finishing it, and you'd be lonely, frustrated, and bored until then. Edit, people. This post is over a week old. To address some repeating comments, I've already explained how you could, not would, still die. Time doesn't stop for you, or else you wouldn't be able to read, meaning you age and need to eat/drink as well, and if time is stopped for everything but you, can you still eat things operating at absolute zero on an atomic level? How does time work for everything, including you, in this situation? I've already explained how the ancient Chinese manuscript was an extreme example. The same situation applies to anyone who can't read anything, people who can't read other languages, or even written word, and people slow to learn. What does it mean to read? What if you physically, educationally, or developmentally can't? Hopefully this curbs the "but you wouldn't die/ancient manuscripts" as bull comments. I was hoping for more conversation on the monkey's paw/gray area aspects. That's what makes these posts fun. Edit 2, this is what I responded to, so I can move freely when time is frozen? Or am I stuck there reading? 'Cause if it's the former, what's the problem? If the latter, I can learn a lot of skills easily. Or freeze time by touching Clifford and having a nap. We're both looking forward to conversation, not just shooting down a premise. They never said you had to comprehend the information inside the book, just read it. True, if that's so, it's op. Since I absorbed the knowledge, that means I must have gained an understanding of the language as well. We learned hieroglyphics, but that did not mean we understood the language till the Rosetta Stone was uncovered. Another example, we come across aliens who know the same math we do. Unless both sides can agree on notation and meaning, the knowledge will not be of much use. I know, but we are thinking too realistically considering what the power does. It makes whatever we read our own knowledge. Could be that we don't understand the language but know what the book contains in our own language. Could be that we gain an understanding of the other language itself. Yeah, you'd have to at least understand the text as written if you were absorbing the knowledge. Although maybe not be able to carry on a conversation in those language since your power is only limited to knowledge absorption and not language acquisition. The downside is if you lose the book or something is preventing you from finishing it, you're kinda screwed unless the abilities allows copies of that book to count. Imagine if you drop the book into a pile of identical copies and the ability does not count reading the copies. Or even worse, the pages vaporize when you turn them. Lol, you could not touch a dictionary or encyclopedia without having to read the entire thing. Technically encyclopedias are volumes of books, so worst case you have to read about every damn thing that starts with D. I gotta say it's been a decade or so since I touched an encyclopedia. Is time still frozen? Wouldn't it just hover wherever you let go of it? Yeah, and I don't think anything would be preventing me from reading or finding it after it gets misplaced, seeing as the entire universe is literally waiting on me to read it. Hey, could you hold these textbooks for me? Hey, a light on the dashboard just turned on. Can you flip open the manual and see what it means? No, Sharon, I'll just Google it like a normal person. While not ideal, at least there's some benefit to that and you wouldn't have to do it again for that vehicle. Now you have perfect working knowledge of basically everything in the vehicle. Or gloves. Like 99% of the time. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If by chance you touch a book and that 1% or a book falls and hits your ankle between your pants leg and sock or some shit, then oh well, get reading, try make sure it doesn't happen again. Oh god, is that one in Mandarin? Yeah, I told you I'm studying abroad next semester. Why are you being so weird about this? I just need to tie my shoe. Well, I have to go, I have a standing up appointment. My goodness, is it 4:30? I am supposed to have a back, sack and crack. The Stanley Parable is just too good. I love this game so much, I'm really not a gamer, but I love this game so much I'll buy it again when it comes to the Switch, despite already having it on PC. This will be the first game I'll have 2 copies of. Yeah, but I wonder when it's going to get this update it's been in the works for 2 years now. It said you had to read it, not understand it. Do you know how to read Mandarin? Just let me leaf through a Learn Mandarin book. Nested time freezes? Oh. If not, you will. And once you read it, you will understand it. But that also makes me ask, when it's in Moon Runes and you don't know the pronunciation, how does that work? This is exactly why I'd say no. This is a fucking genie's wish waiting to happen. No. Bro, WTF? You okay? If you're a very slow learner and a reader, and if you touched a book in some other language, would you get old till you are done deciphering and reading it? Will you go from 10 years to 90 years in just the flash of normal time? Probably not. It's instant absorption of the knowledge, so to other people it seems like you didn't age or anything. So here is the caveat, it's instant absorption of the information in the book, right? If it's in another language, and not a book about learning that language itself, wouldn't you need to scour to find books on learning that specific language, touch them, then read them cover to cover, in order to be able to come back to the original book to read it cover to cover? How long would that take? Especially if time is frozen. You can't drive or ride a bike to somewhere that might have the books you're looking for. You could only walk, right? I'm certain that I'm overthinking this, but I feel like this could get very convoluted, very quickly. I guess the instant absorption works by freezing time, looking at the book page to page until you've read it and then the time unfreezes after you've soaked everything in, and while all this happens you don't age for some reason. Is that what you were saying? Sorry, English is my second language. My take on it is more about touching a book that is in a language you are not familiar with. If I touched a book, for instance, written in Japanese, a language I have zero frame of reference to understand, I would absorb the knowledge of the information in the book immediately. But, I would not then be able to read it since I can't read Japanese. So would time stay frozen until I could get my hands on several volumes of books teaching me Japanese, all the way from novice to expert, so that I could then go back and read the original book that I had touched? To further this, what if I touched this original book in Japanese out in a cabin in the middle of nowhere? How could I go about obtaining books on teaching me that language so that I could read the original text? This could conceivably take years of my life. Depending on how you interpret the scenario, you may not need to understand/learn anything, you just need to look at each line. Seems like instead of instantly gaining the knowledge, you can gain the knowledge by literally needing to read the book cover to cover. Nothing says you also need to understand or learn anything from it. Hell yeah. I get to take my time reading, absorb all the info, and I get enough time to actually read books instead of just skimming. Sign me up. It's all fun and games until you accidentally touch an encyclopedia. It's all fun and games until you need to rearrange your library edit. I get it, guys, gloves. You can stop telling me that. Assuming that it only works once per book, you'd get the chance to read all the books in your collection that you've bought but never read. I'd say it gets tough if you're a librarian because you have to read books that other people chose to read. Macaque_candlefly middle. 2 years ago. GLOVES edit. Oh shit, I have 200 upvotes. Gloves. The gloves would be something mysterious about you as well, like people know something is up with you but they're not sure what and can't prove anything. Exactly. Imagine meeting this person who has a seemingly endless knowledge about different books, never stressed about not studying enough, and always insists on wearing gloves. Instantly, that person goes from just regular old smart person to someone who definitely has some dramatic secret. Instant cryptid material. Somebody write a book about this. Just wear gloves while writing. I was just thinking that this is almost like a r/writing prompts. Since it's phrased as an ability, accidental contact doesn't really sound like a thing that would screw you up. I have the ability to run fairly quickly. This does not mean that every time I move, it has to be at my maximum running speed. I have the ability to lift a 50 pounds weight. I am not compelled to lift a 50 pounds weight every time I see one. I have the ability to drive any modern car. That does not mean I will break into yours and drive it away. I have the ability to freeze time by reading a book. If I don't want to read that book, I wouldn't use my ability on it. Edit, I'm fine with being stuck in time once you choose to use your power, but incidental contact just seems too obvious for anyone to risk accepting that curse. Exactly. If Op was a malicious entity looking to monkey paw us, then yeah, there are a lot of ways he could fuck us over with that description, but since I haven't found Op going more into detail about the ability and there is no malicious undertones, as it stands, the ability should not become a negative. The negative or the trade-off of the prompt is already there, reading the whole book cover to cover. That's the thing Op is wondering if we are willing to do for the ability to gain knowledge, which BTW I'm pretty sure was the main draw of the prompt, not the time freeze which everyone else seems to have jumped for lol. Myself included, I'd want this power for the time freeze. Right? Run out of time to clean the house before your parents get home? Quick, touch a book and time will freeze and let you clean. Then just finish reading the book and bam. Wanna binge the latest Netflix season? Time to read Hop on Pop. Ooh, sorry, your computer works fine but the server can't respond, always times out. Torrents though, well, if you're a superhero who's going to complain about a little piracy. Not to mention the ability to sleep anytime you want. If you're feeling sleepy, just open a book, sleep and then finish it when you wake up. Keep an emergency backlog of children's books for quick escapes. Could you reread it or will you run out of short books? Unless there is some internet source to generate random stories, counts as a book, then you touch it and boom. My daughter has a set of these tiny, about 2 inches by 1 inch, books in a little case. There's about 12 books in it, and it would fit in probably a cargo pants pocket. Just keep a fanny pack or purse full of those and you're good. So you are telling me that I can freeze time whenever I wish for however long, and when I resume time I learn all the knowledge from a book of my choice? Hell yes, sign me the fuck up. Just, as long as my only pair of glasses doesn't break. That's not fair. That's not fair at all. I can still read the large print books. Oh god, that one made me genuinely sad for him. Nice reference. Where is that reference from? Original run of The Twilight Zone, Time Enough at Last, Season 1, Episode 8. It's worth the watch. Full episode is available on Netflix, Hulu, etc. Clip, spoilers, edit, yes, yes. I, too, enjoy Futurama. But it's a Twilight Zone reference. Op stated that's not fair. That's not fair at all. Futurama's parody goes it's not fair. It's not fair. The Twilight Zone episode goes that's not fair. That's not fair at all. If anyone is thinking that actor looks familiar, his name is Burgess Meredith and he played the Penguin in the original Batman TV series, and he was also Rocky's trainer Mickey in the Rocky movies. The Twilight Zone. Hey, a Twilight Zone reference. This was one of my favorite episodes in the series lol. He was a serious reader, but only had one pair of glasses? Obviously wasn't a Boy Scout. Easy solution, put glasses front of your eyes but don't let them touch you. They won't fall down since time is stopped as long as you don't touch them. Or, take advantage of time being frozen and go somewhere like a mall where there's lots of people and try other people's glasses until you find a pair that's close enough to your prescription. Or just keep a pair or two of backup glasses like me, because although I am not a smart man, I am smart enough to be aware of the fact smiley face. For real. My so wears glasses and like all glasses wearers, has her RX updated every so often as she ages. She has several pairs of old glasses laying around, and even if they aren't her current correct RX, they are more than good enough to see with. Who are all these people who never keep an old/backup pair of glasses? That's like only owning one pair of shoes, by choice. I have worn the same pair of glasses since 2010. However, tomorrow I go in for an eye exam with an option for contact lenses, and I'm finally going to go to Zenni Optical and get me a number of new pairs of glasses so I can finally stop wearing this pair that has served me for so long. However, to their credit, they have lasted me this long with only minor scratching and absolutely zero breaks. Just bring children's books in sealed bags, and whenever you want to freeze time you just touch one. That's my exact thought. Get an easy book to read. Oh, I need 5 extra hours of sleep? Cool, I'll read a 10-page children's book. When I feel like it. Accidentally touches Where's Waldo, time stuck forever. Okay, side effect of this power is a much stronger power than the main power. Just bring any pocket-sized books along anywhere you go and touch it, win at gambling, grab money from anywhere. Whatever you can think of. 100% would accept. It gives me so many opportunities to be by myself. I like reading, so if I really had to read something, even if I accidentally touched it and hated it, I would. I get to spend hours upon hours by myself, and it's a pretty good way to cheat on tests or steal money or whatever. Yep. Same. Freeze time? Thanks for that power. Just always have a little booklet with you, so whenever you are in some argument, you can tap your time freeze book to collect your thoughts and come off like some super fast-witted intellectual. You can think of your responses while you read. I wonder if books are reusable. If the power is to absorb the knowledge of the book by reading it, then that book is used up after you finished reading it. Get a ton of children's books at your disposal. Bored books galore. Need a break? Touch a baby book with like 3 words in it. Enjoy the solitude, take a nap, catch your breath, then read the book. Alligator toothbrush clock monkey blanket pajamas, that's it. That's a real book, and that's the whole thing. It's called bedtime. I'm not sure what the alligator is doing there either. Feels like I'm activating the winter soldier or something. The winter toddler. On the bright side, if you chose to use your ability on this book, you would absorb the knowledge of the book instantly, and know what the alligator is there for. Children's books would essentially become magic grimoires with incantations. Go dog, go. The only spell it would be capable of is time freeze. Can you travel with the book while time is froze? You could pull off some omae wa mo shit. Mo shinderu? This is starting to get very Code Geass-like. Do you not get tired or hungry in this frozen time? Become a publisher of short books of haikus. Yay, just keep gloves on all the time so you don't touch War and Peace. Honestly, you could become a superhero with a utility belt full of kids' books. Just tap them, time freezes, beat up the bad guy, finish reading the kid book, time unfreezes. You're faster than the Flash. You don't even have to start reading right away. Can just touch the booklet to freeze time, then spend eternity researching for a valid argument. Come back finishing the booklet and completely destroy your opponents. Finally, I'll be able to retort with more than know you. Dangerous though, imagine you touch a book with a page torn out. You could spend eternity alone, searching for that page. Edit, few people saying that pages don't need to be present, it's just the ones between the cover. So can you just rip out all the pages to unfreeze time then? That sounds like a good Twilight Zone episode to me. It's not fair. That's not fair at all. There was time now. Or that one Scary Door episode. Cursed by his own hubris. Good thing I can read Braille. This is a much deeper reference than usual. Nice. Thumbs up. Saw it coming. They say a million monkeys with a million typewriters and long enough time would eventually at random type out every combination of everything that could ever possibly be written. So don't start reading that before the monkeys stop typing. Okay? It was the best of times, it was the blurst of times? Stupid monkey. I've had eye surgery and now can't read without, at least, magnifying reader glasses. Because of this episode I have them stashed everywhere. Reading the book cover to cover. It doesn't say all the pages have to be present. Only wins in this scenario. Unless a cover is missing. It's just cover to cover, so I assume you only have to read what is physically between the two covers. I think the real issue would be touching a book in a foreign language. It says read, not understand, smile. I'm pretty sure this power will help you understand any book. You want to read a book in foreign language and understand it? Okay, just touch it and glaze past the pages, then you gain the instant knowledge and understanding. Does it have to be that same book? Or can it be different copy? Maybe the only downside I can think of is picking up something really dry/boring and starting to miss people before you're even done with it. You could be wandering a nighttime winter world for months, thinking gosh, I miss my friends. But Anna Karenina is just not doing it for me today. The downside for me is that I can no longer read to pass the time. Because reading literally passes no time anymore. You could always listen to audiobooks to pass the time. But then I can't listen to music while I read. I'm griping with the small stuff at this point, though. Have someone break books down into individual chapter readers and you could freeze and unfreeze time at will. I wonder what would happen if you accidentally tried to use the power on a book in a language you couldn't read. Would you be stuck frozen in time until you learned traditional Chinese or whatever and managed to read the entire book? There's no way to learn Chinese from just looking at it. Traditional or simplified, which are mostly the same, the latter just has a slightly lower amount of strokes for easier writing. Hell, half the time you can recognize the other character if you know one of the variants. Yeah, I suppose that would depend on whether or not you're allowed to do other things while time is frozen, like finding and reading language learning materials. If you're stuck not being able to do anything at all but stare at the book, you'd be pretty screwed with some languages. Could maybe puzzle things out eventually if the language is related to one you know. For example, if you speak Italian and the book is in another Romance language like Spanish or French, but with a difference as significant as that between English and Chinese, I'm not sure there's any way you could figure it out even with effectively infinite time. If you liked the video, hit that subscribe button for more content. I post every day and I'll see you next time with more stories.